Hi everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I wanted to do a few tutorials showing you how to make some fun Halloween cards using dies from my past collections. So the first one is using the double slider die set, and this is the circular one. So you'll see I've used the woodland animals to create this spooky scene. This one here is from my own stash along with this sentiment, but I'll show you that in a moment. And I'll give you some other alternatives that you can use. I've used stamps there from one of my collections, and then all of this is the edition set. And then when you pull out the sides, you have these ghosts and boo on each side. I think it looks quite cool. The papers are even from my collection. I've just inked them up to make them darker and more spooky. You see it stands up really nicely, and on the back there you've got your space to write your message. So let's get into the tutorial and I'll show you how to make this spooky card. So this is the circle double slider die set that I'm using today, along with the additions. So this gives you that lovely frame. But you can also do exactly the same using the square, because I know some of you will have this one. And the additions to this one comes with the woodland. So if you've done all those trees in black, it would look really nice and it would give it that spooky look. So I'm going to use the circles today, but what I'm doing, you can easily do with this one if you have that one as well. There's also the two stamp sets. I'm going to use this one today with the fox, the badger and the owl. But you also have this set here, which has the deer, got the little cute bunnies, squirrel, hedgehog, and you've got the mouse there as well. And you've got the flying birds. For the sentiment, this one, the Happy Halloween, which is from a Sassy Crafting Trick or Treat set. And I've also taken this little sign here. But I thought if you've got my swing collection with the swinging animals, there is the little signposts in there. So you could use those. And then I might use the boo as well, and maybe the gate and things like that, we'll see. So first of all, I've cut my frame detail here. So I've used the largest die and the detail. I just put a bit of washi tape. You kind of line them up, put some washi tape to hold them in place, and then run that through your die machine. So I've done it in the black, and I've also done it in this purple colour. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use both, but I thought it'd be quite nice to maybe slightly offset them. So it's like stuck on top of that one, but just ever so slightly offset, or can, you know, really change it up and have that one, you know, like so. That could look quite good as well. But like I said, I might just use the one, not sure yet. So get that one cut. And you've got all your other sprigs here as well, which I'll probably cut and add when I go to do all the detail, and I'll speed that bit up, but you can see all the other ones you get there as well. So I've cut my stand, which is this long one here. I've got my pattern paper here. This is from the matching 6x6 pad, and I'm going to be putting black ink pretty much all over this. So again, we've got that really dark scene in the background. So I've die cut, you've got a large circle one. When you're using the mechanism part, you want the middle one here. So I've die cut that one, 2 times, and again for my scene. So I'll be cutting that one in a moment. And then I've taken that one with the original size of this piece, so the largest circle here, just to give me this very thin frame, and that's just going to go around there just to break up that frame a bit, but that's completely optional. You then want to cut 2 of these ones here, which is the slider. Mine must have dropped on the floor, but that's how that one looks there. You see you've got all the slots cut out. And then you've got these 3 here. So you want to cut 2. Well, it depends if you want to do a double. You can also do a single slider. You can also have it pulled out from the top. So you might just want to pull this one up and it says boo, or, you know, has whatever you want on it. But I'm going to do the double. So I've cut 2 of the larger one, and then I'm going to have the purple for my matte layer to match one of the frames there. So you'll see that goes on top with the stitch detail, and then I've cut 2 in that next size down, and this is the one that I'm going to stamp onto. However, I may change it and have more of the scene and just ink that up, so when you pull it out you've just got some more of a scene there. We will see when I get further with the decoration. And then also you want to cut 2 of this one here, which is the kind of the strip that will allow the side pieces to be able to be pulled in and out. Okay, so I've just die cut that one, so I want to get this one inked up so it's nice and dark. So I've got the black soot distressed ink and also the hickory smoke. So I'm going to start with the black soot first of all, and I just want to kiss the sides of the pattern paper here, and then I'm going to drag it out with the grey. Now this is coated paper, so it will take a little bit longer to dry, but it's giving it quite a nice dark coating there. So I'm just going to pull that out a little bit more. Actually, I don't need to go in with the grey yet. I'm going to keep pulling this out. Just want to completely dull all of that bright colour. Okay, once I've gone over it, I'm just going to rub it with some kitchen towel. And it's almost stained it, but it'll just pull back some of that design so you still see it. You can see now it's just completely got rid of the brightness to that, but it's still got the seam. So I don't need to add any grey to that at all. You see it just completely changes it there. Okay, make sure it is completely dry, especially when you go to add the frames on and things like that. So now I'm going to just add my glue to the back. And then I'm going to take one of these here and stick that on top. That's now going to strengthen that nicely. Okay, and then I can decide whether I just want the black frame on its own. I'm going to pop this up on a bit of foam. See, I kind of like that because I think they're going to really pop against that real dark scene. Let's just see what it's like with a bit of purple, because I have got the purple on the side. Mind you, it does look nice. What you want to do is start kind of laying things out. So imagine these are going to be on the side. You know, you're going to pull these out. I do like the pattern paper on these pieces, actually. I think I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to stamp Boo on there. No, I think we'll keep the purple in there. I think it looks nice, and but I do want to break up just a little bit with that white frame, because I think that helps just tie in the white frame on the critters there. We've got our little spooky sign, which is going to be sticking out there as well, and then we're going to have the happy Halloween up there. So you kind of just want to play around with, you know, deciding on your mats and layers and things like that. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to use my quick grab glue to stick this one on first. I'm just going to pop my glue around there, and then I want to have these pieces kind of opposite each other. So I'm just going to sit that one directly down over the top there. And then I'm just wrapping some foam strips around the frame. Now you could turn this into a shaker card. You could put a sheet of acetate on here first and then put the foam. And I've done shaker ones on the on my channel, so I will link those ones for you. So just, it's nice to just add a bit of foam between these layers so you can get all of these little critters in, and any other, you know, sprigs and bits and pieces you may want to pop in. And I'll pop these up on some foam as well, and then I'm going to sit this one over the top. Now I want to make sure, yeah, I think that's nice with this piece from the top there. So just die cut another one of these. They're slightly different scenes, but they're all going to have that black over them, so it doesn't matter. But just make sure that you have one facing to the left, one facing to the right. So just make sure you got your orientations right. So I'm just going to ink those up the same way that I've done that piece. So I'm going to stamp Boo on each of these pieces. I'm going to use my Stays On because this is a really good ink for adhering to any surface. It's great for acetate and stuff. So because this cardstock's got a coating, it will stick perfectly. Just going to go over that one more time. I've just grabbed a couple of other sets of mine here. I'm going to take the birds from the Fabulous Flight because they're great for spooky scenes. And also, I was just going through them. The fence here would look good stamped as well, and you could colour that in black. You could also stamp the grass here in black as well. So just to give you some other ideas, if you've got this stamp set, you could do the bees as well. They're all going to look good as silhouettes. So I'm just going to stamp a few birds. They kind of look like bats, and I'm going to do just a couple in the background on there as well. Okay, whilst that's just drying, I'm going to pop a thin bead of glue all around this frame and stick that one down. And then I'm going to stick those on top of there and then on top of there. You want to make sure you always keep these side panels very flat. If you're going to add any stamped images, just make sure you stick them completely flat. You don't add any foam because they need to be able to slide in and out. Next, you want to take one of the slider mechanism pieces and one of these strips, and you're going to pop it under and over and then under and over like so. Push it right up to the top, okay, and then you're going to fold it back on itself. Now when you fold it back, don't like pull it over, just let it just naturally fold around there. You want this to be able to slide quite nicely. If you were to really fold that around, it just wouldn't work. So just fold one down and then pop a very small amount of glue. Keep that butted right up to the edge so that ensures everything's straight. Another little bit of glue there actually. And then just adhere that. So what you've done is you've just wrapped it around, and then we're going to actually attach these pieces onto this side here, onto those two, and that will pull that along the track. So I'll just show you again on this one here. They're both exactly the same. Now if you wanted to do a triple or a quadruple, then you'd cut 3 or 4 of these. You'll just stack them all up on top of each other. So again, you're going to go under and over and then under and over. Make sure you've got equal amounts overhanging each side and just bring that right up. I do already have these tutorials. I just want to show other ways to use the stamps and using them for different occasions and stuff, like I said. So check out the other videos as well, because you might like what I've done in those if you're just coming across this video today. And again, I'm just going to fold that one over and just make sure there's no glue anywhere else. That's why you need the smallest amounts, just to tack those in place. You could use some red tape there if you want to, double-sided, but just make sure that there's no tape visible anywhere else. But now you can see that slides along there really nicely. So whilst that one's still drying, I'm going to flip this one over, and again, the smallest amount of glue, just 2 little drops there in the middle of those panels. And then you want to line up the end here with the end here, and you want to make sure you've got an equal amount on the top and the bottom. Keep everything nice and straight. And then with this one, just flip it over. This time you want to have it stuck on this side. So I'm just going to pop in 2 little blobs of glue and just line that up with the end there. So you're not lining it up with the edge of the square piece, you're lining it up with the edge of those 2 little kind of tabs that you made by weaving that other piece through. And then do a little test run. So you can see there, that one slides really well. Now this is going to stick on top of this one, or this one's going to stick on top of that one. It really doesn't matter. But you want to take some more foam strips. I'll link these ones because these are the ones that I purchased when I launched this collection. They're really good. And you want to pop a strip along each side. You'll see they fit just right for this size card. And that one there. And then pop this one on here. You'll have to pop it on the back as well, but we'll do that in a second. So you want to keep it slightly away from the edge of this piece. Okay, so we'll stick, take this one off and we'll stick it on top of this one. Okay, just push that all together. And then you just want to line these up on top of each other. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to pop 2 more in the same place. This is then just going to be stuck to this circle here. So take the backing off of that. So when you stick it onto here, you want to focus on the 4 corners of the squares and make sure they hit the edge of the circle. Each one, it will just fit in there, like so. Okay, and again, now you can test. You see it slides out, and this one slides out. You can pour them at the same time, one at a time. Like I said, you could have, if you were doing a single, and you imagine your scene over the top here, you didn't have that one, they could pull this out from the top with a hidden message, or you could have all 4 of them. So now I'm going to take the backing off. So you need to make sure that you've stamped everything onto these pieces, because it would be difficult to do that otherwise. And now you want to make sure that you get this. This needs to be completely straight, and your scene here, obviously if you're using just a pattern paper that's not direct, then you can just stick it down, it won't matter. But because this is a scene, I need to make sure, I'm going to go on my tiptoes so I can hover over the top there. Again, you just want to sit it perfectly over the top, like so. And now you've got this effect. So then we can add the stand. So you just want to fold all of the score lines. So the 2 big sections are mountain folds. Then you've got these other score lines here. You then want it to be a valley and then finish with a mountain. So you've got a little tab end. The next score line there is a valley, and then the other 2 are mountains. I'm going to add my glue on that little tab. And you can just fold that all down flat. Well, it's probably easier actually if you just do it like this. And then you can fold the whole thing flat. And just burnish that. And then what I would do is stamp and write your message first, but just cut a piece of white cardstock that will sit in the back of that, and that will be where you write your message. I'm now going to add some glue to the back here. So when you stick the stand on, just make sure that these pieces are nice and straight, and then you're going to sit this so the points line up with the edge of the circle there. And now you've got your stand. You can pull out the sides. Already you can see we've got this really fun card. So now we can decorate. So I've got my critters here. I've got my sentiment, which is probably going to go about there. And yeah, I'm going to pop these on some foam and get this card finished. Finished. You'll see I've changed the sentiments. I've got trick or treat now on the front because I thought that worked well with these characters. They look like they're up to no good. And then on the back I've used that happy Halloween there instead, and then I've added the white card so I've got my space to write my message. You could also add googly eyes to them. I think that would look really cute. I'm going to keep mine as they are. I probably will add some glossy accents just so they've got a bit of shine. And then you just pull out the sides and you have those ghosts, and it stands really nicely. This will fit into one of my box envelopes, so I will link those as well if you want to make an envelope for them. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial showing you how to use the double sliders to make this really cute Halloween card. I'm going to make some more using some of my other die sets as well, so keep an eye out for them. Check the description box below. If you click see more or show more, it will have all the links to the product that I've used today, and there'll be some other tutorials popping up now using this die set if you want to go and watch those next, just to get a bit more inspiration. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.